Okay. Question master.
Sure.
I can touch the strange wall in in our room.
We're just
Uh,
trying to look, or like we're trying to investigate the dream that we all had last night,
yes.
because when we woke up the first time, it seemed that we actually saw a figure with yellow eyes.
And I try to hit him, but I can't.
Yep. And that's where we're standing at right now, is that area to investigate it a little further.
Yes.
I didn't get the dream right.
No, you did not get
No,
the
you
dream.
didn't.
So you
Okay, so
slept like a
I don't know.
baby.
Maybe I'll just like I don't know. Freshly woken up, I would just lay on the bed, one hand under my head, prop my head on my hand, and just I don't know, just scratching my ass and like, what are you guys doing?
Ah.
I say good
Yeah,
morning,
how do
and
we
I
explain
do
this?
a tip.
I didn't get this far in my brain.
Yes.
I'm gonna look at Avery and say something along the lines of, "We had a visitor last night for some of us."
A
A,
lady
fr-
visitor?
No,
a friendly one.
it's something that we all can see. Other than it's related to the reason we're here, I think.
Oh, a spooky visitor.
Mm-hmm.
A friendly one in this case.
I don't think it's friendly, but
Yeah, you're not sure what to think yet. It
Nah, it's
hasn't like outright attacked you or anything like that.
it's correct.
Avery
Well,
changes his pose to like laying on his stomach and like a schoolgirl, like both of his knuckles under his chin, like with his legs swinging
Yep.
behind him. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
tell me all about it.
Yep. Um.
well, we have a
Well,
nightmare,
we have
a
a
real one.
visitor at our door that we should probably tend to and inform that we have a letter apparently from the gentleman that invited us here. So we should probably go and find out what's going on.
Oh, sure.
Yes. So Dagny did drop off the letter to you guys. Whoever is opening it, it reads that Reverend Berselius is requesting your presence at the clergy house, which is just south of you guys. And Dagny will put you in the right direction.
Okay. Out of curiosity, is there a situation for like cleaning ourselves off from the night, like a bathroom of sorts?
Yeah, there's washrooms and stuff like that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I assume you guys
I
have.
am going to grab Avery on my way to the bathroom and forcefully wash all the dirt and muck off of him.
These are my badges of honor. You can't do that. That dirt is from like. He just start rambling off like that dirt is from here. That dirt is from there.
I don't care. You're getting clean.
uh,
Yes. Just see, I am. You see what? Okay, so we are not cleaning us. Only wake up and start to talk about this strange dream, right?
correct.
Yep. Yep.
Yes. You see, the first thing I do is try to find a mirror, something to reflect my image, and you see, I am a bit distracted about find this. And well, when I try to launch something to this um, strange visitor, I launch my how to know magic in 5 steps book. So you see, I am trying to find a mirror and what I do,
Hmm.
what part I have the book.
Yeah, there's a mirror like right in your bedroom. It's right on the
Okay,
wall.
yes, yes, I thank
Like
you.
to imagine like when I was like scrubbed rather violently by Kai. Like my Milo would be just like barking on the side of the tub.
No, he got. I put you guys both in the tub to watch you together.
You
Well,
obviously
at least
needed it.
Milo is here.
You
Well,
both obviously needed it.
well,
You can't tell if that
the
burning
wash.
flesh smell was from you or from the thing last night.
That's pretty much the reason why I'm trying to make sure that they're both scrubbed clean so we can eliminate the smell.
That makes sense.
Wait, so the washroom is like a giant room, or it's like a
It's large enough to bathe one person in a tub with a dog. So it's not like massive or anything like that. It is a room that's attached to your bedroom, like it's its own bathroom.
Hmm.
okay,
Anyway,
okay.
so yeah, so you guys get all cleaned up. You have now confirmed that even after cleaning up Avery and Milu, that the smell is still there. So that confirms that it was not them.
Yeah.
However,
I promise,
they do smell
Avery.
much better now.
I'm going to look over at Avery and I say, I promise there was a reason for me cleaning you guys up.
He just pouts. Like pouts but cleaner.
Cleaner.
Now we actually have a good.
version of his face.
Well, now we also have a cleaner version of Avery that we can actually tell the details of his face at this point too, so we have a better look at him perceptively.
So that's what you look like.
Pretty much.
I've always looked this handsome. What do you mean?
Is that why you cover your face in mud and dirt?
Oh yeah, the girl cannot deny me when I'm cleaner.
I'd like to test that theory.
All right.
Uh,
So you guys
so-
want to get a move on?
And then I basically explained the situation to to Avery as, do you smell that when we finally walk back in the room?
Do I?
The black one. I try to
Yeah.
say it.
Is it something that I need to roll for a check, or can I just smell it because it is that
Yeah,
strong?
you can. It is pretty strong, so you can smell it.
Oh.
It's like
Now,
Oh, yeah.
now do you see why?
Yeah, fair enough, but yeah. Like
Ooh.
he reluctantly says yeah, while he still begrudgingly feels like you could have done it, but without it. Like, but oh well.
Well, knowing
Alright.
that you are not probably particularly used to having a bath every so often, and that's obviously just an assumption, I figured that it might help to clean you up to understand that the smell isn't.
Bathe when it rains, he pouts like.
Sure. I thought so.
I am
need
going to ask a somewhat morbid question, but something that I think my character could probably, unfortunately, has more experience than she would like.
Okay.
So this is the smell of like burning flesh, yes?
Yes.
Mhm.
Is
Of all
it the
people
smell
would
of burning
recognize the
flesh
smell.
that was burned alive, or is it dead?
question.
Oh.
I have
It
a
smelled like
question.
rotting flesh,
Was it rotting or burning or
It
like
smells
burning,
yeah,
rotting,
flesh.
like a burning, rotting flesh kind of thing. At least that's what I
okay,
took
so it
it
is
as.
rotting, so that would be dead flesh that was being burned?
I
'Cause
feel that that's what it was.
unfortunately,
No,
unfortunately,
it's not.
being a battlefield doctor, this is something that she would definitely have experience with.
This is just
Would not
the
be put
smell
off
of
by.
burning flesh.
Okay, burning, no rotting. Okay.
Right.
Question.
Okay,
So
so
this smells. Sorry. Uh,
something that was being burned alive, not necessarily like a corpse.
Right.
Okay.
okay. So question.
Sure.
So this smells is from a wall in a room or in of a place in a room.
We think of it as coming from the wall in the room.
Yeah.
At least that's where we grabbed the sample of ash of sorts.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
it's excluded to just the one corner of the room where you initially saw it in the dream.
Hmm.
There's nothing else anywhere else. Just that one corner where the walls appeared charred, and the smell is exceptionally strong coming from that area.
Okay, I can do something to know something more about this smell.
Well, we should probably first.
Yeah,
We can
you'll
handle
learn
the
more as you
smell
go
later.
along.
Okay.
We'll need to take off to go to
The
the
clergy house.
clergy building. Yeah,
Right. And so, yeah, the
Yeah.
letter was just,
Yep.
an order of summons of sorts.
Right.
can Ingrid ask? We have our host, right?
Dagny?
ask a
Yeah,
question
she's right
of-
there.
Yes. Miss Dagny,
Yes.
the original letter spoke of suspicions of witchcraft.
I suspect
Well-
of the Reverend.
I know that Reverend
Is-
Berselius has been talking about witchcraft a lot lately, and I don't blame him. There's been a
Yes.
lot of weird going-ons around here.
Has anyone done anything about it?
The only person who's
Accused
been
anyone?
trying to take matters into his own hands is Reverend Berselius. He's been trying to round people up and bring them to church, over to God as much as possible.
But no one has. No witches have been burned.
No. His methods scare me, though. But I believe that what he does is good. He just seems a little
His
more...
intentions may be good.
Yes.
I kind of have my
Okay.
finger and my thumb rubbing my chin, kind of like thinking. Not everybody's been ruled out as a suspect yet.
I have idea who maybe have his hands in this strange thing.
We can't make all the assumptions yet, but we want to have evidence that he's potentially not part of it. Since he was the one that reported it, it does make him very suspicious, at least to me.
Well, I think it's moment to see our grumpy friend, the
Yeah.
Reverend one.
Why don't we head that
No.
way then?
Ingrid nods.
So in the downstairs, you guys all pile down there. Franzibald's sitting there at the table having a cinnamon roll and a coffee. Excuse me. You see quite a few people that have gathered in there for breakfast time. Additionally, you also catch another person who seemingly works at Dagny's. It's a younger woman who's wearing a flowy, traditional Scandinavian dress. It's white and she's got an apron. She's kind of you just assume she's a waitress because she's serving food to people.
Okay.
Again, there's a lot of people sitting around, so I mean, if you guys want to, you can talk to people here, or you can head straight to the clergy house. It's up to you.
Okay.
What do we want to do?
I think
If
we
we
can.
have like complimentary breakfast.
You're gonna go for the cinnamon rolls and the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
You can't
I take all
can't-
I can.
Yep, you can't solve any mysteries on an empty stomach, right?
Yep.
Really is.
Infamous
Sure.
line from Shaggy and Scooby.
That's right.
Do our hosts offer us, or can we get?
Yeah, I would
Well,
I would be like munching on my cinnamon roll, and be like offering. So you want to? Do you want yours, or can I have yours?
Yeah, she has a table set up kind of like next to the kitchen that's got like coffee served there along with a bunch of cinnamon rolls. So it's kind of a help yourself situation.
Sounds good to me.
I say something like,
Or-
I can take all the I wish. The cinnamon rolls, I mean.
You're gonna take all of them?
All my hands can do.
Okay, save some for everybody else, but sure.
Before he gets to that point, I'm just going to put his hand out and
Or
say,
the
"Take one
travel."
for now." I'm gonna look at Jace and go, "Just take one for now."
Yeah, I passed one, you.
They are
I
pretty
think-
big
yeah,
cinnamon
but-
rolls too. Like they're
They're gigantic.
yeah, they're pretty large. I don't even know what to like really compare them to.
like the size of the
Yeah,
hand is.
Let's just say they're about as big as your forearm.
yeah, that sounds good. We'll do that. They're pretty large either way, so you definitely don't need more than one unless you're like Franzibald, who's more round than he is tall. And
Rotund.
honk. I just heard the duck honk. Did somebody leave?
Sorry,
Oh,
my internet is being a little difficult.
no worries.
Don't worry.
Yep. All right, so you guys are all sitting down having breakfast next to Franzibald, and
Shadow.
yes,
Sorry, master. I can do a last funny thing.
you're gonna do a
I
funny
can
thing.
roll for. I can roll from disappear. The coffee. How called this? The thing you put the coffee and serve. I don't know. It have a name. Uh,
Um,
give me.
you mean like a coffee cup? You mean?
Uh, okay, give me a moment. The coffee maker.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Well,
Well,
they would
it's not a
probably
coffee.
hand
There's
press
no
it in the
coffee makers. Yeah,
1800s.
it's a hand pressed thing. So it's kind
So
of like a cylindrical canister that holds the coffee. So you
yes,
see,
this thing. Sorry, I don't know. This have a specific name.
that's fine. You can just call it the coffee can if you want. That's fine.
Coffee. Yes, I wanna like I say. I try to do a magic. I can roll something only for half the coffee for all of you, and like the stall. This is gonna a part super important of the mission.
Mm, indeed.
Yes, I can roll for only for the funny moment. I can roll something.
Yeah, let's go with roll of manipulation. How about that?
Okay. This is give me a moment. I don't remember good. Okay, what you
Yeah,
say? Manipulation.
Yep.
manipulation. Yeah, it's under empathy.
Okay, and uh, okay.
So your trick did not work, sadly.
Ah, oh,
So
critical failure.
out of all those dice, you spectacularly failed at your magic trick. I'm sorry.
I, it's like a moment like Magneto. I tried to do a Magneto moment and remember the the magic not work this and the can
Hmm.
falls in the room. Well, and I put my book of uh, whole learning magic and I start to read and eat the cinnamon rolls.
All right, no problem.
Yes,
So Franzibald's
this is all.
stuffing his face with cinnamon rolls right now. Dagny is periodically coming over to check in on Franzibald specifically because she seems to be quite infatuated with him. Like when you first met her yesterday, she was like smothering Franzibald in kisses all over his face. And they weren't like, just like little pecks. They were like juicy kisses. So
I'm gonna turn to Franzbold because I'm assuming he's sitting directly behind me at this point, and just say, "So, what's the situation with your lady friend here?"
oh, she's only a friend. She's merely just a friend, an acquaintance, really.
That's not what the show looked like yesterday.
Well, she's just that affectionate with everybody she knows. I've known her for years. And as he's saying this, he's um, playing with his necklace again, the green gemmed necklace that you saw him
I
play with all the time.
so so wait. He have the face covered of kisses
Yeah, yesterday when
or
when Dagny met all of you, and she already knows Franzibald from the past, and so that's why she was giving him a bunch of kisses yesterday.
And I was just making a comment that it looked a little suspicious.
Yeah, she's
yes.
she's straight from France, and she's very affectionate with most people she knows, or
Mhm.
at least knows well.
I say like in the background. with a smile, a Mr. Burns smile. Well, I wish the things, but more funny, like he says, and laugh like Mr. Burns. Sorry, I can do this
No problem.
effect.
Okay. So, what are you
Yeah.
guys doing now? You're having breakfast. There's people you can talk to here, or you can head to the clergy house.
I think we can, in my part, I think I can take more information from what happens, more from the people because, well, only talk with the reverend and no more than the something more, but I can't remember. Sorry.
Mm.
Well, I think in the best interest to us, yes, there may be a lot more people, but we might get the same answer as we did the other day when we were trying to ask questions.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So
in
we,
my opinion, we should probably head to the clergy house after we're finished eating.
well,
Okay.
this good. Maybe we need more answers about this strange dream moment.
Well, Jace, if you would like to stay and ask questions, that's totally fine. But that would be splitting up with the rest of us to do your own thing. And in this time, after our dream last night, I don't necessarily think it's a good idea to split up.
It is not recommended to split up in this game. Out of story here, and from GM to players. This game, if you encounter Bison without the rest of your team, you will die. You will absolutely die.
Okay.
So don't.
Okay. I
So
don't go.
you stick with each other. That's one of the rules of this game. Okay.
Well, I don't do the split the party moment, so
Um, under normal circumstances, so like say you were in Uppsala in your hometown, you know that that town's safe. Then you can split up. However, you're in a town that you're not familiar with. You don't know anybody here other than
Mm-hmm.
Franzbald. So you don't know anything. And you also just had a strange occurrence the night before. So you're not sure. But stick together in this situation, definitely.
We're not here on
okay.
vacation.
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to
So
turn
we're
that
gonna
Ingrid
do
will ask, just
declare.
engage people in, you know, and just listen for any rumors that they might say, but she's not going to be like pressing or trying to ask detailed questions or anything because she's just wondering like what are people talking about.
Yeah. Um, so you actually hear Dagny. She's still sitting with Franzbald, and they're kind of having a separate conversation. But you hear Dagny mention that the waitress, who you just now know her name is Lisa, has spent a lot of time with the miners lately. Um, so Dagny's a little worried that the girl, because she's unmarried and without a family, that Bracelius seems to disapprove of her spending time with a bunch of men. So
Okay.
Dagny's noticed that Bracelius is having disapproval with her seeing the minors because she's unmarried. So she's worried. He's worried that she's doing things that are not necessarily of biblical sense,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes
Okay.
sense.
I think we
Okay.
can do for her. What is? You can remember her name?
Her name is Lisa.
Okay.
Um, you can also tell that she, when she starts talking about Reverend Bracelius, she seems almost a little bit nervous. Anybody who wants to go ahead and roll manipulation.
Okay. Give me a moment. Manipulation.
I failed.
Okay.
What are we doing again? Sorry.
Rolling manipulation.
Jace has one.
Yep.
I wanna do. Wait.
Why not? Nope.
All right.
Close, but no dice.
Oh, Jesus.
Doc,
Critical
you guys
failures.
set up on private rolls. Did you hear that, Doc?
What?
Your rolls are set to private. I can't see what you rolled.
Ow. Okay. Do I need to reroll or
Well, just tell me what you got for now. That's fine.
2 successes
Okay, thank you.
out of 7?
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry. How do you roll? How do you roll push?
You're trying to push the
Oh
roll?
no. So if you click on the like word
Oh,
manipulation, it should automatically
manipulation.
roll
Oh,
it.
I completely. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, look at that. So, Alf, Avery, and Jace, you're looking directly at Dagny when she's talking about Reverend Bracelius, and again, she has a pretty like concerned look on her face, and it's pretty revealing that she's afraid of the Reverend, but still respects him tremendously. She does say that his wife, despite being young, can't seem to give him a child. Their firstborn died after 3 days outside of the womb. And then she
Unfortunate.
leans forward towards you guys and she whispers under her breath to you and she says, "He refuses to bury it. Instead, he burnt it because he believes the devil hides in all of us. That's how devoted he is. He is the only one who can save us."
Is this Lisa or Dagny?
This is Dagny that is telling you about Reverend Bracelius.
Oh,
And she leans over to all of us, correct?
She is leaning towards all of you and whispering this, yes, because there's a lot of people around, basically saying that Reverend Bracelius burned a newborn baby.
Can I make an investigation or something to see if she's like bluffing, or if that's
Yeah,
what she truly believes?
yeah, you can go ahead and roll inspiration.
Oh,
Okay,
that was
so
not
you
good.
can't really tell if she's bluffing, but just by looking at her face and the level of concern, I mean, you still think that what she's saying is pretty credible. So she's basically saying that Emily is unable to have a child, and their firstborn died after 3 days outside the womb. And then at that point, that's when Reverend Bracelius refused to bury the newborn child after it had passed away, and said he refused to bury it. Instead, he burned it. And that's because he believes that the devil hides in all of us.
Can
okay. So, sorry.
roll like a history check real quick, just to see if there's anything in the knowledge of Vason that I might know, what if there's anything that would summon something like that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me. Let's see, what do we want to do for this? One sec.
Okay, so
I'd say just go
let
with
me guess.
learning, okay?
Learning.
Yeah.
So, okay. So the Reverend don't wanna have more kids
Holy moly.
after his first kid died.
Right.
So I had 3 successes.
Yes, Kai, with your 3 successes, a couple of different things come to mind, and you've written about these before. There's a couple of different types of Vason that have similar aspects of how they're born or how they're created, and one of which is, being burned alive. That's for one thing. Or being burnt and not properly buried is another thing. However, you're not exactly sure what type of Vason it is. I think you'll have to continue investigating a little bit further to learn the name of it exactly.
Yep. So I kind of relate this. I kind of make a face to the rest of the group that kind of says we should probably ask about this.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Okay.
have a point.
Yeah, definitely with your 3 successes, you do know that for certain this is Vason related.
Okay,
Interesting.
so I can roll empathy for or manipulation for more, know a bit more.
Yeah,
Or
so do you want to like try and overhear people's conversations or something? Is that what you mean?
no, in this, sorry, I forget the name of the woman says
Dagny?
about the acne. Yes, I wanna know a bit more, push a bit more if she can say something more.
I'm sorry, but I just don't know anything else. That's all I know. Perhaps some of the
Ah,
other
okay.
people will know.
Well, no, don't worry, and I appear Cinnamon and say her like, "Hey, thank you for the info."
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Okay.
And I'm gonna finish my cinnamon roll and my coffee and ask if everybody else is about the same point and that we can head up.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, so side note, GM the player. Uh, in the Legend Keeper, I'm keeping track of the clues that you guys do uncover.
Okay.
So those will become available
Ah,
after this episode, and you'll be able to look at them.
cool.
Uh,
And we do still have our access to our journals, so I've been
Yes.
tossing stuff in there as well,
Yep.
just in case everyone else. It's been a little while since we've been in.
Yeah, I know. But the
In
Legend Keeper keeps everything all in one spot. I spent
Yep.
a lot of time setting everything up, so
Thank you.
you're welcome.
ooh,
Definitely use it
thank
if you can.
you.
It's very helpful. All right, so what are you guys doing next? Are you going to continue asking around here, or are you going to head out?
I
We're
heard
heading out.
same
It's my
same
vote.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, question:
Sure.
the we gonna see the Reverend.
Yes, you're heading to meet him right now.
The cleric is like a church or something similar.
He lives right next to the church.
Okay, okay, this is gonna be funny. Yes, I go with the the rest of the team.
Okay. So Dagny mentions to you that the clergy home is just south of where you guys are currently at Dagny's. So I'm going to move you down to the right spot, which is right here. I believe that was it. Yep. Oh, by the way, on Foundry, on the left side, there's a button that looks like a W at the very bottom. On the left side underneath, like all the controls where you select tokens and stuff like that. Those are your journal notes. You can click on those, and that'll bring up a map icons for each area that I have set up, and you can double click on them, and you can get more information on that area.
Cool.
Uh,
Um,
okay, I think I understand.
Yep. So you guys head down to the clergy house, and normally you would think that a clergy house would be, pretty nice looking because it's part of the church and everything like that. However, this one is not the case. This place is just like gloomy as hell, and this is what it looks like.
You see in
Like
oh
it's
Jesus.
it's very unkept. Like all the windows are dirty. The house is disgusting. Like there's just weeds crawling up everything. Nothing's kept at all. Like the place just reeks of sadness, basically.
Uh, Also, I think we can go of the clergy house, and I think we pass from the church. Yes.
You're right next to the church, yes.
Okay. You see, Jace is a bit strange. He is in the face because he don't say much, but you see, uh, feels more sick around this place
Hmm.
and say. and I
So you're
say
like
something like,
feeling physically ill.
yes, and see in the voice like I walk like, okay, we can wake up the nightmare, and yes, I have energy, but you see in this moment you see like I run a marathon. I I think this
You don't. You
play,
have like an uneasy feeling, is what you're saying.
yes, yes, it is a war.
Gotcha.
I put more, yes, it's like I think this place have something darky, but well, maybe it's the appearance of the house and not much.
All right. So you
So
guys all approach the clergy house. Um, this is where Reverend Bracelius and Emily live. And you go up and knock on the door, and you wait a moment, and then there's another woman that opens the door who you do not recognize. And she says, "Ah, you must be from Uppsala, right?
Correct.
yes,
My name's Berta.
yes,
Nice
we
to
are.
meet you."
You're
And
Likewise.
welcome.
yeah, and Berta by the is very much similar to Reverend Bracelius in that she's grumpy looking. Like she just
Oh,
looks like she's constantly got that face of disapproval. She's older, and she also introduces herself. She says, I am Reverend Bracelius's older sister."
ooh,
Okay.
nice to meet you.
So
Sounds
she
good.
she lets you all in. Inside, you
Hmm.
can see that there are two maids standing by, and across the hall there's a kitchen where you can see somebody who's dressed as a cook. So clearly, the people who live here are pretty well off. Like they have two butlers and a cook, which is pretty amazing.
I was gonna mention the to Ingrid. These guys look like they're well off for a priest.
She just kind of shrugs. She's being
This is just
uncharacteristically demure. So when they came on the train and everything, she's generally, modern, businesslike, just functional. But as they approached, she would have started trailing the rest of the group, and she's being more subdued than usual
Okay.
makes
in this
sense
in this
because of
household.
quote unquote social standing back then.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Question,
she has
master.
her reasons.
Sorry. Question,
So
master. Uh,
Berta
sorry.
is walking you guys to uh, the guest area, well, the main sitting area, as they call it. That's where she's asking you to wait at this point in time. So
Mhm.
Reverend Bracelius will be there momentarily. As you come into this particular room, like there's literally no colors. It's just dull. There's no life whatsoever, and it's super silent, almost silent enough to the point where it reminded you of how silent it was after you heard that scream in your dream, and how deafening it was. That's how quiet it is in this room. Like you don't even hear a clock ticking.
Yeah.
Okay.
After a few moments of waiting, Reverend Bracelius opens the sliding door and closes it and sits down behind his desk. And he says, "Thank you for coming. I suppose you have questions."
A much,
Yes,
much
we
question.
do.
Oh, I forgot to mention that Emily is also in there with him. She is
Uh,
sitting next to him,
Yes.
behind him,
Um,
and remaining silent.
yes. Question, Shadow. It's more from understand a bit. So the the house I in the exterior is like you said, you put in the image, but enter is the same energy, like is super oldie and darky.
Just sadness.
It's like a
Okay, it's like a what? Sorry.
it's like
like a
a
sadness in there. Like it's
yep,
just a
you can feel it in the air kind of thing.
yeah. It just doesn't feel like a happy home. That's what I'm saying.
And super deep silence. Okay.
I'm going to ask the questions that we have um or ask some questions to the Reverend.
Okay.
Um Reverend, it sounds I've kind of been hearing through the rumor mill that you had a child.
He sits back in his chair for a moment. He's actually kind of taken aback by this, like starting it off like that, but he reluctantly says, "Yes, Emily was with child for 3 days, and the child died."
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. My condolences.
She is with God now.
Yeah. Just trying to think about what else we could ask here.
Uh,
I'm actually going to bring up that we had um, a visitor last night in our dreams.
So, Reverend Bracelius, at this point, he has a big fear in his eyes, and he looks around. He says, I knew this was happening. I knew this was the work of the devil.
what? Okay.
The next question
So
I'm going to have is he able do we as players know if he can see them or not?
You do not know if he has the sight.
Okay. Could I straight up ask him if he has the sight?
You can try.
I'm gonna approach it in a way that like there's tact to it.
Mhm.
So I'm basically going to follow up with have you seen them before? Have you met the devil?
The devil is in all of us.
Unfortunately, not this one.
I'm not
He has
sure I
made a
understand.
physical appearance in this town.
I have not heard of any such occurrences,
Yeah.
but this just solidifies my understanding that this is the work of the devil.
Okay. Thank you for that information. I do appreciate it.
And he nods at you.
okay,
So,
so
go ahead.
okay. The Reverend thinks we work with the devil in his work,
N-
right?
n- No, I don't think that's the case. In my like looking at it, I think because you can use magic, it's the reason why he thinks that he may have a bad impression of you.
Yes.
And I appear a rabbit.
Yeah, because like
Okay.
he's like a hardcore biblical Christian guy, and if he sees things that don't appear naturally to him, then he just assumes it's going to be a witchcraft type of thing, or devilry, or demonry, something like that. So when you were doing those magic tricks, he definitely got the impression that you were maybe some kind of like a witch or something. So
Uh-huh.
he's kind of reluctant around Jace, but he still will answer your questions. He's just a little weary of you. That's all.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
So
Avery, Elv, you guys have any questions for the gentleman in front of
The
us?
nice gentleman over there.
Say that
Oh,
again.
I just basically asked Jace or Elv if they have any questions for him.
Yep.
yes, I have one. I can ask. Um,
Or
About the smell, the rotten smell, or
It wasn't a rotten smell, it was a burning flesh smell.
Yes.
around, just
I'm
burning
going.
flesh.
Yep. Okay. So the question that I believe Jace is trying to ask is if they have seen or had any recent locations of a burning flesh smell.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense now. Sorry. So yes, the Reverend does in fact recall a particular event where they had come across some burnt corpses that were sitting outside of the forest edge. Not corpses of people, however, they were just animals. Like there was a deer and some rabbits and things like that.
And then, based on the knowledge that I have of Vason, is there anything that I could think of that would also give off what the potential name of the or type of the Vason that we're dealing with is?
When you start talking about burned animals and burned things, if you don't mind, before you answer that, Ingrid would like to demurely sort of interject and say, "My pardon, Reverend, is this a seemly topic for we women to have to sit through?"
So my apologies, but I need to get this information to you, as it'll help you with your investigation. Am I right?
Yes. All right.
Yes, but and she just kind of like subtly, looks at the pastor's wife and with just a hint of kind of like,
There's like a hint of nervousness from her coming from her side of the room, essentially.
Yes. Yeah, she is sitting behind Reverend Berselius to the left. Like you guys are sitting in front of Reverend Berselius, and she definitely looks very uncomfortable. More tense than usual, I would say.
right. So
Okay.
yeah, so
I
she's
can do.
trying to kind of subtly intimate without, being too forward that, uh, you know, and maybe play into his prejudices a little bit that it's like, maybe Ingrid isn't like a real investigator. She's just there to take care of the menfolk who are the real investigators and, kind of
Oh,
thing.
don't sell yourself short.
Yes. I can do
That's the
But,
whole.
something
but really
to.
what she's
That's what
trying
he's
to do is,
trying.
is
She's
get some time
yeah.
alone with the wife.
Okay, so you can ask that.
Hmm.
If you guys can, one of you guys come up with a manipulation success, then I can let you guys talk to her alone momentarily.
Okay. I wish had to split the. I sorry, the reverend to the Emily
There's your
is the name.
success.
All
Okay,
right.
so I can try to roll manipulation.
Let me see what she gets. Oh, I actually got one finally.
All
Hey.
right.
Okay, I wanna try.
Holy moly.
All those dice and
Oh,
no successes. Come on,
that's how it
Jace.
works sometimes.
It happens.
Correct. It's
That's
a
okay.
free action.
You don't need to push it or anything like that because we already have a success. Um, so if you guys are done rolling, either Kai or Ingrid can speak with her. Reverend Berselius will allow 5 minutes with her, and that is all.
I will let Ingrid discuss with his wife.
Okay.
Okay,
Ingrid
so
is going to start off, with sort of an apology. Sorry that you had to go through, hear all of that. It
just
must have been
I'm
difficult.
gonna. Can I suggest that you guys leave the room before you?
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, yeah.
I
Sorry.
was just
Yeah, I
gonna say
assumed
for
that.
context, you guys get out of the room.
Right. We're like
Yeah,
just in the room next door, so we're not like,
right,
going
not
far
far.
away, but
So
we're just getting a little
Avery
privacy.
Okay,
Avery is with the wife of the Reverend? The
Yes, that is correct.
woman?
Wife of the Reverend.
Yep.
Yes. She's
Yep.
very young. She's like she's like 20 something years old, and the Reverend's like 70 something. It's disgusting.
That
Oh,
was
and
typical last during that
and
time.
Berta is even older than the Reverend. Oh wow, nice.
Yeah. So Berta is the Reverend's older sister.
Yeah.
All right. So Ingrid,
Oh,
you take Emily and you set her aside outside in a different room, and you sit her down. She seems like
Right.
she's a little less tense now that she's not standing next to Reverend, and
Hmm.
now she feels like she can speak a little more freely.
Right. So she starts off saying, sorry you had to hear that, especially losing a child is, I'm sure, always difficult.
Um,
And I am a doctor, so perhaps I could help you. But I would need to know. I know it's difficult. I'm
yep,
sorry, my dear.
that's
But
fine. Go
perhaps
ahead
you could
and
tell me something about what happened.
roll me an observation roll.
Oh, okay.
so question. So Avery are
Success.
alone with.
Hold on.
Nope. So
Okay,
it's
Ingrid is alone with.
Yep.
Sorry, I forgot the net, but
Ingrid
the
and
name.
Emily
But
are
you
together
understand.
right now, just them.
And we are with the Reverend, or we
yep,
are
we are
like.
with
Yes,
Reverend.
we're stepping aside. We're just doing Emily and Ingrid right now for a moment.
Okay.
All right. So you got a success with that observation roll there, Ingrid. So because you succeeded, she does tell you that she has lost every single child she has ever carried, saying that they are all with God and they will be safe and happy there. So whether she likes it or not, she can carry a kid to term, but very shortly thereafter, the kid will either die or it'll die in the womb. Excuse me.
I'm sorry to ask this, but was there anything? Were there any unusual markings or deformities on the
No,
child?
no, it was a normal, healthy baby girl,
Perfectly healthy,
perfectly healthy baby
but
girl.
simply stopped breathing? It is not
I'm not sure.
as
And
uncommon as people.
yeah,
You aren't sure.
she starts crying, and she says, "My Emily." Not Emily. I'm sorry. What the heck was the kid's name? Hang on a sec. Sorry, brain fart tonight. Anna. That's what it was. My poor Anna. And then she's crying as she says this.
All right. She'll give her a hug, comfort her, you know, and say,
She also
I hope.
says, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just she's comforting her and will say, I hope, I wish I could something I could do to help you.
It's fine. There's nothing that anybody can do to help me. I've tried seeking help in the past and nobody's been able to. But the but the Reverend, he wants to keep trying. He wants to keep having a kid.
How many children have you carried?
Well, 4, I think.
4. She just shakes her head sadly.
And she's starting to cry a lot more now. You can tell that this is definitely upsetting her because like she wants nothing more than to just have a kid.
Yeah.
But you're not exactly clear on how she really feels about the Reverend. she mentions that, ever since that they moved here, everybody's been very kind to me here. But I believe the grief is making my husband more tense than usual, and the grief meaning like when they lost their kid.
Oh, did you move here with the pastor?
I did, yes.
How long ago was that?
Let's see, about a year ago.
Oh. Where did you come from?
Oh, we were from
If
northern
it's not
Sweden.
prying. Just thought,
I didn't.
she's just like, just kind of like changing the subject, talk about something that's less painful. But yeah.
Yeah, so at this point, she's kind of just still sobbing, but I think she's worried that she's spending too much time alone. So she's like, "We better head back to my husband."
Yes, of course, my dear. I would want to get you in trouble, but just remember, if there is any trouble or you need help, you can always, you know, you can reach out to me.
Yeah. So as you guys are walking back towards the sitting room, on your left there is another room that appears to be Reverend Broselius's room, and the next one over is the sitting area.
Okay. Yeah, no, we'll go back.
Okay.
So, and then you guys can role play out the stuff that you guys do with the Reverend, and I'm just gonna mute and
Sure thing.
grab
Okay.
a drink. But I'll be listening.
All right. So Emily
Okay.
proceeds into the room firstly and sits right back down behind the Reverend, and goes back to being quiet.
Okay. I like okay. You can see the bad appearance from Jace. Right now scales a bit more. Like I only sit with in silence with the Reverend who hate me. But
He doesn't hate you. He's just weary of you because you were doing those magic tricks, and he doesn't understand them.
I can't do something to do the peace with him about that. Like, okay, chill. I know do something dangerous. I can do something like this.
You're trying to ease the tension between the two of you. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Okay. Um,
So you're gonna use a magic trick to do that? Are you gonna show him how to do it or something? Like, because I feel like just doing
I
magic in
want
front of him is gonna make it worse.
oh complicate. Well, you know I explained. I see my face looks super sick, so I try to start ask if he have some water too I can take. And this is all I gonna do for break the ice with him.
Okay. So yeah, he'll signal to his one of his butlers to go and get a glass of water for you, and they promptly bring it back to you and place it right in front of you.
Okay. I thank you. And it's moment like of course he is a bit pro okay, give me a moment to he's
um,
real about Jace, so I can do this thing. You can see in the point of the Reverend, my eyes are more deep, like the yellow eye I have in my character is more deep. Like, oh Jesus, I am really bad. So I say thank you, and the voice sound more uh not creepy. Give me a moment, and I say uh the- okay.
um, while Aloy or while
Crunchy.
is doing this, I'm going to just kind of start pacing and running my fingers through my, or like running my hand, kind of rubbing my chin together with my thumb and forefinger, just kind of thinking about all of what we've gathered so far.
Okay.
Okay. Crunchy is the like thank you, and so a bit crunchy and okay, crunchy. This is the word I try to find. Crunchy.
Crunchy.
Yes, I really have a bad moment here.
That's okay.
Yes, and yes, I think we are with like a strange moment. The Reverend who is worried about my magic and his uh, uh, woman, woman, no, no, married. Yes, is he Emily? Is the name Emily? Is he in silence? Yes.
Yes, yes, he
Is
is silent right now. He's watching you.
oh, I try to do something to put a better face. Nothing. Super like spawn.
Just glancing up to
Uh.
see if he's watching.
Yes. No. I not try to spawn the rabbit again. I know he don't like this trick, so I gonna try something more simple.
Okay.
Uh, I try to spawn a coin is the word, but like try to do this super obvious. Like, okay, I have the coin in my hand, and I try to do the moment, but I don't wanna do something spectacular for the moment.
Okay.
Yes, and I try to do this. I don't roll nothing this part, right?
Right. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and this is all.
So you're just trying to hide the coin or something, like make it disappear?
Yes,
Okay.
I yes.
Yeah, that's fine. He well, again, he was still watching you do it. However, when you made the coin disappear, he's like, "I've seen this trick before." And then he and immediately goes right back to business. Basically, at this point, he's like, "I have no time for games. We
Yeah.
need to."
And I answer him. Yes, it's a classic where I'm from. That one.
It is indeed a
And
classic.
I
Um,
put a sick smile in the end. I really wanna this the reverend hate me.
that's fine. He's a he's a grumpy old man anyway, so it shouldn't really matter what he thinks of you, right?
Okay.
Anyway, so he's like, well, back to business. Either way. So, anyways, the last event that happened here was at the mine, and that was when we had um, found burnt corpses there, and there was also a, a wailing of sorts coming from the mine at night, almost like a crying noise.
Out of curiosity, was there anyone suspicious around that area at that time?
Well, I've seen several people there that shouldn't be there, for sure, because, well, for one, it's the mine, and only the miners should be there. I've seen what's her name? Yes, Lisa from Dagny's. She's been hanging out there,
Okay.
and another blonde woman. I've seen her a few times, but I do not know her. I've never met her.
Does she attend church?
She has not been in church. No.
Okay.
You will,
Does
you
Elisa attend?
yeah. You will find that most people go to church here. However, the miners do not. they seem to have more loyalty to the mountain than to God.
Well, unfortunately, the mountain is what makes them their money.
You are indeed correct. And then he goes on
Okay.
to talk about the recent gold findings at the mine, because the copper mine itself was kind of like dwindling down for years,
Mhm.
and the town itself was becoming quite poor. But the recent discovery of gold has brought the mining town back to life, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Okay,
Question.
sure.
The mind of these stars, in theory, in what part is in the map from
Um,
half a idea?
yeah, so the mine is down. Can I make you. Hang on a sec. So the mine is right there. Do you see my ping on the screen? It's a green.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I think we can start to find answers in the uh, surroundings of the area about of the mind of the mind. Yes.
I'm going to ask the Reverend if there's anyone that can give us special access to the mines to investigate.
People have been able to just freely walk in and out. There's really no.
Okay.
Uh, there's
I
no
just wanted to make sure that
authoritative.
we could enter and exit at will if we needed to for our investigation.
Yeah, typically it's just the miners that go there,
Yeah.
and there's no like hierarchy of uh, like authority there or anything like that. It's just
Okay.
strictly miners.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yep, no problem. So yeah, he does mention the burnt animal corpses hanging out in front of the mine where they found at one point. Um, Also, the wailing coming from inside the mine. Additionally, he did recollect the story that you heard from Franzibald about how years before he and his wife had moved here, there was a story of a man who had gone missing some 40 years prior that was found inside of the mine dead. However, his body was preserved as if he had been there not only a few days.
Okay, okay. So I say two things. Exists a minor leader, a leader of the miners in this of
Y-
of the mine.
Yeah, there's no leaders for the mine. It's just people who
Oh,
live there.
okay,
Yeah.
There's no.
okay.
Essentially, what Shadow's trying to say, Aloy, is that the uh, there is no hierarchy of like management in the mines like there would be in like today's world, for
Yeah.
instance.
It's basically people just
Not
going
above.
there and getting their share of stuff to sell.
Yep.
So the miners not have a pulse.
No.
No.
No, but
Okay,
it's their source of income, but they're there willingly.
Yep.
Excuse me.
okay. And I say this question I say outroad. In road I ask, well, maybe the miners wake up something he or touch something they don't do. The
And
nature is a mystery, Reverend.
oh, I'm gonna look at Jace and say that's what we're here to investigate.
Right.
So if we want to get our investigation going, we might as well start there.
So the Reverend says at
I
this point, says, I am 100% certain that this is witchcraft. And like he slams his hand down on the table at this point. Like he's pretty serious. He is dead set
Mhm.
on this being witchcraft.
And I'm going to look at the Reverend and say, I have a feeling that there are other factors at play here. Uh, but we will confirm and let you know our findings.
Thank you. I knew I was right to trust you.
And I
hope
look
that
at the rest of the
resolve
group
this.
and ask, "Are we ready to get going?"
Ingrid
I
nods.
put I put my hat in in my head and say, I am ready
All right.
for solve this.
So
I'm gonna look to I'm gonna look to Alv and Avery and just get their confirmation that they're ready to leave.
and keep in
I,
mind that
um,
Franzibal's with you guys too.
Yep.
However, he's remaining
I,
silent,
I'm
letting you
just
guys work.
yeah, I'm just I don't know. Well, they like negotiation and interrogation is not like Avery's strong suit. Like he spaces out often, and maybe like while the guys are talking, like he was just there playing with the lint off of Franzibal's coat or something.
Hmm.
I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Okay.
So the Reverend tells you that the mine is to the southeast of town. It's very easy to see. You can just look for the giant scar. And when I say the giant scar, I'm referring to the massive crater that has been created by the miners in the years that this mine has been here.
Okay.
So it's quite easy to find.
Okay. Thank
Really
you for
superstitious guy, aren't you?
He is he's suspicious of everybody.
But then again, by nature, as a priest, I could understand, especially during that time.
Yeah, and a lot of weird stuff's been happening, so he's
On
thinking
edge.
he's on edge. The whole town is on edge, and it's been noticeable. Like everybody that you guys have met has been on edge. Like they're welcoming here at this town, but they're definitely like on high alert. So as you guys
All
leave
right.
the clergy house, finally, you feel like this weight of sadness that's finally gone off of your shoulders now that you've left that house. It was very gloomy, doom and gloom there.
I'm going to talk to Ingrid as soon as we get out of the house and start maneuvering our way down to the mines and just have a conversation with her about the conversation she had with Emily.
Mhm. So, I don't know for certain, but I'm developing a theory. Something
Let's
we
hear
might
it.
try and find some evidence for to disprove. Scientific method, you know. She laughs.
I know a lot about that.
So, Emily said that she has carried 4 children, but none of them have survived long
Past birth.
past being born.
Yep.
Yes.
And this has been in the last how many years? Did you get a
Well,
time frame?
it can't have been very many. She's not very old.
That's why I'm asking a time frame.
She shrugs. No.
Okay.
But she did say that there wasn't anything obviously wrong with the child.
No distinct markings or anything like that on the
No
body.
deformities, nothing,
Okay.
nothing unhealthy about the child.
Okay.
So my current theory is, well, it's somewhat unpleasant, but the good reverend, good pastor seems to see witchcraft and demons everywhere he looks, and perhaps even in his own child. Perhaps that it had been infected in some way, and so perhaps he
Well,
thought to deal with it as with fire,
as you would with
the
anything.
other witchcraft that he came across. But of
Yeah.
course, he couldn't admit to it because that would mean that he was somehow tainted. It would also explain why he is so
Adamant.
extremely adamant about it,
Mm-hmm.
sort of as a defensive measure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Emily seemed to be. She didn't say anything, but I got the sense she was a little unsure about what had exactly happened. So I got the sense that perhaps she was not there when the child died. So perhaps she does not
Or
even
he
know.
or he removed the child from her vision and took it
And
quote unquote out back.
yes, and a child killed under such circumstances, I think, could result in the type of creature that could be behind, for
Well,
example, the vision that we
based
saw,
on
the burnt flesh,
based on
the burning.
the different articles I've written, I've come across this before, but I can't remember what exactly the name of it is.
Yes, she did
I
give the
need
child a
more
name.
time. I need more evidence.
The child itself had a name. And
Okay.
perhaps if we do come across the Vason, then the name Anna will reach
Ring
it
a bell?
somehow. Yes.
Okay.
Emily did love the child. She very clearly, she was quite
Well,
distraught.
That being said, this is also the first time that she's carried a child outside the womb, correct?
I don't know. She might have carried some others to term. I know that
Well,
at
even
least
if she
some were
carried them to
stillborn.
term. So this
I
one
have a theory.
in particular was not stillborn, and there's a potential that the others were.
At least one of the others was.
Okay.
But any other previous child would have been born somewhere else.
So she's had 2 children in the year that they've been here?
No,
4?
they've only been here a year.
She could have been pregnant when they arrived.
Hmm, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I don't know if she was able to actually carry another child to term. But
Okay.
if she did carry that child to term, it almost certainly would have been born not
Recently.
here in Falun. Not
Okay.
here. It would have been born. It would have been a previous child
Right.
before she moved here. And so even if it was cursed, it would have been in a different town, which would explain then why there would only be one such creature that came about as a result. And
Right.
perhaps this is all wrong. Perhaps the creature has some completely different origin. But it is a theory that I'm developing. And so I thought I would share it with you and the details of what I learned from Anna.
Well, I have a theory. Maybe the thing we create these strange things is something uh, inside the mind. Maybe the miners touch or enter a place we obvious he doesn't have. And maybe this is a course of the all the town. Yes, it's town, right?
Well, it is.
Mhm.
They do have a gold mine. So, are you saying that it's a potential that the being that is causing havoc around here is saying or is causing havoc because they're interrupting the gold mining?
Well, we don't
Does it
know if
live? I mean, is that your theory? Is what I'm asking essentially.
well, it's an early theory. We need enter to the mind to know what happens here
I
because
do agree.
Yep. All of you know for a fact that Vason have been known to retaliate whenever things go touched, basically. So, like, in this particular case, Jace is saying maybe this thing is in the mine and it's being bothered because of the gold mining, which is very possible. But in previous cases that you guys have read about or heard about, you've seen Vaesen that protect things that attack for one reason or another. But what you do know for a fact is that Vaesen always have a motive. There's always a motive for what they do. They don't just attack out of aggression for nothing. So there's something that is causing this.
Yeah.
So as you guys are having this conversation, in the distance you can actually make out the sound of Dagny's voice, and she's yelling for Claude. You may remember Claude being her Yorkshire Terrier dog. It seems that maybe the dog has gone missing.
Oh no.
And she approaches you because she immediately recognizes and runs over to you, and she says, have you seen Claude? Please, he's missing.
No, we have not, but we can keep an eye out for her, or for him.
Okay.
Actually,
Do you
no.
mind if I come with you?
We were planning on going to the mines.
Well, I haven't checked over there yet, so I'd appreciate it if you'd walk with me. I've been
We can
on
do
edge.
that.
It's been stressful around here lately.
I'm going to look to the
Well-
rest of the group and get approval before I say whether or not we should allow her to come with.
Yes, I say, well, a tiny secondary mission, not horse, nothing, right? This is all
Let's,
I won't say no to helping a dog in distress. Like Avery saying that while scratching his own dog's ear.
that gives me an idea. Avery, can your dog track things down?
I mean, Milo
Has it
have
worked in-
seen Claude before, right? Like, does my dog recognize Claude's smell or something like that?
Kind of, essentially, is what I'm
I
asking.
would say so, yeah.
We're in the clergy house, right? I mean,
No, we have
are-
gone to the clergy house.
Oh, we are. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you guys are away from the clergy house now, and you're making your way down towards the mine, and that's when you met Dagny again, who's missing her dog.
Can I send my dog out, or how does it work?
I would say you would follow the dog.
Okay.
But how are you going to have the dog smell? Are you just going to have him smell Dagny and then go from there?
Maybe I would ask Dagny, like, can I have like his dog bowl or something like that? Like, maybe something familiar to him.
So she actually pulls a couple of hairs off of her jacket that belong to the dog, because the dog's seemingly like always in her lap. So she says, "Will this work?"
Sure, yeah. I take the clump of hair, I would say, from her, and I don't know, like, wait, before I do something else, I would ask confirmation from my other party mates, I would say. Like,
Mhm.
are we gonna look for her dog, or are we gonna, go for the mines? Because ain't no way we're splitting up. Like, we're smarter than that. Come on.
Well,
yeah,
at this
it's
okay.
better
point,
off with us than wandering alone.
yeah. So
Exactly.
the dog is ready to run at this point, and he looks like he's ready to head down towards the mine area, anyways. So I think you guys are
Huh?
going to the same place.
Okay, I would imagine like Avery waiting for confirmations from his party mates, like he's holding back his dog, like come on guys, I'm straining here. Like let's go.
Well, the recover the dog mission is started, and you see, I am a bit better to when I own is the clergy house, and this is all for my part.
Mhm. All
When
right.
I see the dog, uh, yes, the dog mission, you see, I like, oh no, not the dog again.
Okay. So you're going to let the dog run and you're going to follow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you let Milu go, and is the dog a boy or a girl?
Uh, say it's a boy.
Boy. Okay, so Milo, he moves very quickly down the pathway towards the mine. Um, so you guys are actually struggling to keep up because he's definitely on the scent of, well, what you think is the dog. We'll see. Anyways, as you approach the mine area, you see a crowd of miners standing kind of semicircle around something, and your dog stops for a moment and starts whining. And
Boy?
as you get closer and closer, um, a very familiar smell comes right into your nose, the smell of burning flesh.
Oh no.
And
Okay.
as you approach closer and closer, you see the miners. They're surrounding something that's laying on the ground, and as you get even closer, it appears to be a dog.
Oh no.
And
Oh shit.
Dagny immediately recognizes this dog as Claude. She rushes in, pushes past all the miners, and she is crying her eyes out. And she picks up like the still smoldering corpse of this dog, and she's just like rocking it back and forth and sobbing and crying.
I
And
Ooh.
I I can't uh, put my hands to she not see this. Like, oh no, that moment.
yeah,
Uh, uh, yeah, I try to. I I quit my. I put my hat in her face and like, you can see this. You can see this thing, kiddo.
yep. So you're just
And
trying to
I try
comfort her.
to. Yes, I try to comfort because, fuck,
Yeah.
the dog is alive.
So the as she's sitting there with the dog in her lap crying, Lisa, the waitress from the inn, is also there. She was hanging out there beforehand, and she's also trying to comfort her. Uh, Behind you guys is Bracelius standing beside you, or not
Oh,
beside you, behind you.
he followed us
Who?
down.
Yep, he immediately seizes this opportunity to start preaching. And he says, "The Lord have mercy on our souls, for we are lost. This is an evil amongst us. Yes, right here, right here. They walk among us. One of you could be a servant sent by the devil." And so he's sowing all this discourse amongst the miners, and now several people from town that have heard the commotion and have uh, come down to see what was going on. So there's quite a large crowd of people here surrounding surrounding Dagny and her dog.
Who says who says this? The Reverend?
Reverend Bracelius, yes, that is, he started preaching, and he yells to everybody he says, "Stay vigilant, everybody," and everybody just kind of nods. Not including the miners, though. However, the miners, you can tell, definitely don't have much support for this guy.
And
I
can
see him
can
with killing eyes, and this is all I do: killing and intense eyes. I
Intense
see this
eyes.
Reverend.
All
Yes.
right, yeah. So he he's not looking at anyone in particular. He's just addressing the entire crowd at this point. But the townsfolk seem to be pretty on board with what he's saying. They're nodding in agreement, saying, "We're going to stay vigilant. We're going to keep an eye out for witchcraft, and we're going to report it directly to you if there is any." Dagny picks up her dog and walks away slowly, still sobbing. And you can only assume that she's going to find a place to bury her dog.
I can do something to give a bit more comfort for her. I can roll
Um,
something or no.
Okay.
Well, I
Yes,
Jesus, it's complicated. What I do?
that's
His
fine.
dog is die with
Yeah.
a
This is a sensitive situation, and you're not really sure how to comfort somebody in this situation, so you're trying your best. That's all that matters. Um, Dagny does appreciate it. She does feel comforted by your help and everything like that. However, this is a very emotional time for her right now, and it's also an emotional time for people in town too, because everybody knew this dog. Everybody knows Dagny. Everybody knows her inn and how it's like the best place in town for cinnamon rolls and fika and stuff like that. Her
oh
dog never left her side, so the town quickly grew to love the dog. And so this is devastating for everybody all around.
mhm.
Jesus. I try to
Are you trying to say something? You cut out. I don't know. I can't hear you.
yeah, sorry. I try to give a pat. It's the only word. Sorry, it's the more certain I can remain. I give a pat and try to comfort her, and I spawn a tiny floor and say, "Well, mm, maybe not isn't the moment, but I accompany you but in the sad feeling about this."
Got it.
Yeah, this,
Ingrid
this is it.
is going to try and take Kai aside and say, we should, we need to investigate.
Yeah.
That
I
we
put
do.
a serious, yes, I put a
I'm
serious
going to
face.
so I'm going to raise my voice to ensure that we can clear out the area so we can do our investigation.
Okay.
I'm gonna and this is gonna be really dumb, but can I ask? I'm gonna ask you, Shadow. Is it possible for us to carry around like a state police badge?
Um, yeah, I mean, you could use that like as a memento or something like that.
To
Okay.
do what? Sorry.
So we can ensure that we have the authority to make our investigation.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
we
you can also say that Reverend Berselius was the one that had brought you here, and
That
most
is
people
also
will just
true.
be okay with that.
we have the bless of the.
Yeah,
I forget. I'm gonna say
let's
Paul.
do that. We'll
Okay.
do
Yeah, so you're just looking for approval to start the investigation.
pretty much.
Reverend Berselius will just yell out, "These people are with me. I called for this investigation. Please rest assured that they are trying their best, and we need to stay away and let them work." Um,
I think the people see you see our team like we are travelers and the reverend say this and the people I think the people see us is the word I say us.
yeah, the people don't have a problem with you. They're wary of you, but they trust Russ. They trust the Reverend basically. So what he says is, literally gospel.
The law.
So, anyways, so how are you? What are you investigating? You guys mentioned investigating.
So there's two things. The first one is easier. The second one is going to be a little more sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
The first is just to investigate the ground around where the dog was,
Yep.
because the dog is burned. Are there scorch marks on the ground?
There are
Are there
scorch
drag
marks on the
marks?
ground. Yes, they are
Okay.
very, very consistent with what you saw in your room, as a matter of fact.
Well,
Like just like the scorch marks alone. So there was fire involved, obviously.
I don't know. Is Kai going to grab samples of this too?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone else want to also? Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, Doc and Peach. If you guys want to have your characters do stuff, don't want to prevent it.
I have. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, Peach.
I'll just help everybody with gathering because I don't really have anything I want to do particularly right now.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, at this point it's really pretty simple. What you've observed so far is just the area where the dog apparently was set on fire. Or from what you can tell, that's what happened. Judging by the way the dog looked and the scorch marks around where it happened.
I see something strange about well on about the ground the dog is found dead. I see something strange in the area in general.
Something strange in the area? No, you can't notice anything else strange.
Can I
Okay.
send my dog like to investigate? Maybe smell something.
You what, into the mine?
Not necessarily like I would try to investigate, but I would also like check from time to time to see if my dog is acting strange.
Okay, so right now your dog appears to be just behaving normally. He's also a little on edge too, given the situation, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Like even though with all the tension, like Avery would still try to be nonchalant about it.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing that his dog is a bit tense, like he would ask like, "What, do you need to go potty right now?" Like, do not desecrate the crime scene, please.
Dog just we'll just say that the dog remains vigilant and also does not go potty at the scene of the crime, so that's good.
And perhaps we should see if there are any other nearby scorch marks to indicate perhaps where whatever did this might have been or come from.
Roll me an investigation.
Can I roll too?
Anybody who wants to look around the area for anything else, yes, they can go ahead. You are in the mine area, but you're also on the edge of the forest as well.
What role? Sorry,
Um,
investigation.
yes, investigation, please.
Okay, please.
Hey, look at those. All right.
Holy moly! A good roll.
That's all right. All right. Well, we got a couple of successes. That's all that matters. So, on the outskirts of where this particular event happened, kind of like right at the tree line, in some bushes, you're following the smell of more burnt flesh. And as you peer into the bushes where it seems like it's coming from, you find a scorched raccoon as well. So this is not the only animal incident in the area. This is clearly on a larger scale.
Well, that makes it easier to. She smiles, grimly somewhat, but she smiles still. Ingrid does, and says, "I had wanted to autopsy poor Claude, but
I mean, you can certainly try and ask Dagny, but I seriously
I
doubt.
suspect Dagny would have been reluctant.
Yeah, I mean,
So it
if
was
you
going
want
to
to
be
ask
difficult.
her, you can
But
roll
with
manipulation.
this, with this other animal here, I think this would be sufficient.
Okay.
So she'll kind of move like just away from the immediate crime scene, as it were,
Mhm.
and we'll pull out some tools and do an autopsy. Yeah, try and see like what's the nature of the burning, like how deep does it go, and oh
Okay.
yeah,
Roll me a medicine roll, please.
okay. And I don't think does my doctor's bag give the bonus on this?
It does.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I can I can use my
Yeah, so
advance.
that gives a +1 to your medicine, I believe,
plus
right?
two.
Oh, +2. All
Two.
right, so yeah, just make sure
Yeah.
you add 2 to that roll there, and then
Yep. The bonus dice. Okay. Got a lot of dice. See
that's
if I get
okay.
any sixes.
Hey, look at that.
Oh wow,
4 successes. Wow, that's the best roll
that's
right
pretty good.
there.
Holy
Yeah,
moly!
so you pull out your
Quickly,
scalpel.
can I describe it?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
She she
Sorry.
she quickly pulls out some scalpels and forceps and clamps and things, and she very quickly and professionally, or no nonsense, just starts peeling away layers of burned fur and everything. The smell is probably quite unpleasant, but doesn't seem to bother her. May or may not bother the rest of you. And she dissects through and digs through the layers, setting aside the organs and looking at each one in turn, and discovers.
Um, so you're not much of a vet, however, but you can
Fair.
tell that the inside of the animal appears to be, that consistent with that of a normal raccoon. Like nothing seems out of sorts. The only thing that you notice is the burnt fur, which apparently seared the skin, and that's what killed it. However, the burning appears to have stopped after that. It didn't go any further than the top
It
layer of the
didn't
skin.
penetrate.
Right.
Okay. So
It was enough to
yes,
kill it, though.
it did die from essentially massive, shock, probably caused by massive, you know, first degree, second degree, third degree, all over the skin.
Yeah.
So it seems to be a broad area, hot fire, but not penetrating.
And
So,
as you're reviewing this animal, Reverend Bracelius is behind you, and he says, "Wildfires are not something that happen around here. This is not the work of that. This is the work of witchcraft." And
certainly not of wildfire. There's been, she looks around. There's no burning tree, no burnt trees or anything, or
right,
brush or
yeah, nothing
so.
consistent with a wildfire of any sort. It's definitely targeted, from what you can tell.
Yes.
And
5 to 45. 45 is the word, right?
right,
So
and
okay, so only the bodies are burning, but nothing around
right,
in the forest is born. Okay, okay,
nothing else is burned, just the animals.
okay. It is but interesting.
It is. And on that note, I'm gonna end this episode because I think this is a good little cliffhanger spot for you guys.
Yeah.
The magic fire.
Uh,
The magic fire.
we can go through level up stuff now if you guys want, or I can put the instructions
Hey,
on how to do it inside of Discord if you want.
maybe a bit of both.
Sure. Okay.
I am fine with
Yes,
the
please.
two options.
Let's do the.
All right. Everybody, get your character sheets open.
Mhm.
Yo.
Okay, okay.
And so the way leveling up works is we have to answer a couple of questions. And for each time you answer yes, you get 1 point. And when you have reached 5 points, you can buy an advance, which means that you can increase the value of a skill by 1 step, or you can buy a new talent altogether. And the talents do not have to be specific to your archetype, they can be whatever you want, as long as it's from the game, obviously. So, first point is automatic for everybody, and that's whether you participated in the session. So everybody gets 1 point for that. Did you confront
Mhm.
any Vaesen? The answer to that is yes, because
Yep.
you confronted that in the beginning of this when you were waking up from your dream. So that's a point for everybody. Did you identify a previously unknown Vaesen? You have not done that yet, so there's no point there. Were you affected by your dark secret? I would say that at this point, no. Well, actually, yes. Sorry,
Um,
Jace did for you a little bit.
yes, I put these points in experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Um,
Right.
so that's 3
E.
points. Did you take risks to protect other people? That I'd say probably not at this point, unless well, I
Maybe
guess maybe we can consider the dog.
Ingrid with the the the, the
Yeah.
Reverend
Well,
woman.
we can say that yeah, you were talking to her and trying to help her, and also the dog. So yeah, that's 1 point there. So one, two,
I would
three,
actually also
four.
say maybe the innkeeper as well. We
Yes.
kind of put her in harm's way of sorts.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's 4 points now. Um, the next one is: have you learned anything? You guys learned quite a few clues, including some of what happened between Emily and her baby, and Reverend Berselius and the
Hmm.
baby, and the miners and how they've been affected by the town and all that stuff. So you've learned quite a few different things today. So that's 5 points. Did you develop anything in your headquarters? We say no to that. Did you perform an extraordinary action? Um, they kind of leave this open to interpretation. To me, an extraordinary action sounds like somebody who has a lot of successes in one role, in which case that would have been Ingrid just a few minutes ago.
Hmm.
So that's
Yes.
I'm gonna give you guys that point too. So you guys got 6 experience points. All of you do. Which
All?
mean
So
yes,
we
which means all of you can level up one skill by 1 point, or you can buy a new talent, and you have one additional
uh
experience point.
so how this do
Okay.
this? I wanna upgrade my empathy.
Well,
Um,
yeah, you can't do. Hang on a sec.
Yeah.
You can't do the attribute. It has to be the skill. So if you want something under empathy, you could upgrade inspiration, manipulation, or observation.
Manipulation. I wanna upgrade this one.
Okay.
Quick,
All right. So
quick,
I'll change
just
that to
a
4, and you got
bookkeeping question.
sure.
So do we spend the experience? So like,
Yes.
I added it on the number, so I have total of 8. Do I decrement it to 3 and then
Yep.
get the upgrade, or do I just
Yep.
keep it at 8?
Yeah.
And
Just decrement. Yeah.
okay,
I just did it for Jace right now. So Jace, you have
okay.
4 in manipulation now. Okay.
What is the more the limit of upgrade?
The max that you can put into a skill is 5.
Ooh, my empathy pool is gonna be fun.
Yeah. Well,
now
that
I have
is
a
your main skill. So
question,
sure. Go ahead.
Shadow.
What's up?
Um, and it can be any of the general talents, or can it be anybody's talent?
Any general talent. It could be in
Okay.
any other archetype talent. Uh, Let me link the talents here. Hang on.
Hmm.
Let me just copy this. I'll give you guys an actual link to what I have on Legend Keeper that'll tell you um, all the talents. So just bear with me for a moment, please. Okay, I'm going to
The
pop this
mystery
in the
goes
Discord.
super. The mystery escapes super fast. Like, oh, new town. Boom, dead dog.
I didn't
in the
realize that the
second
music
game.
was so high. I'm sorry I didn't see that message, Aloy.
No, no, no. It's funny. It's interesting, and I like it. Not gonna lie. For fun.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that loud, but okay, I'll keep it down for next time. Yeah, so
Sorry,
I just put
I love
the
it.
talents list inside of the discussion page for the game, and in there you will see all the talents available, and you can basically just choose any one of them if you want to add a talent instead of a skill point.
I will have to think about that a little bit. So I'm just going to keep the 8 for now while I think about it,
Sure,
and then
no problem.
I'll.
It's a lot to go over
Oh,
right
right,
now.
but we can't. Yeah, but anyway,
I
good
spent.
session.
Yes,
Yeah,
So thank you,
Yeah, thank you.
I
Shadow,
love
for
it.
running. Good stuff.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Shadow.
All right.
Finally,
If
after
anybody
a
has
long
any, I
time.
know. We'll reconvene next week.
Yup.
Yeah, now that my computer issues have been solved finally, and
Okay,
Oh, please.
your computer issues didn't make a damn bit of sense to me.
no, I didn't, and it didn't make any sense to me either. But I found that because I had HDR settings on my monitor that were set, they actually um, collided with the settings in my Streamlabs software, which is what I use for streaming.
Oh, yeah, yep, okay.
And so what happened is my monitors would flicker and change inputs, and I couldn't change it back. Like I essentially lost video to my computer, so I had to
Hmm.
force a reboot. And when I did that, it apparently had corrupted just about everything in Foundry. So I had to reinstall all
Jesus.
the modules. I had to relink all the pictures to everything and
Oh,
rebuild everything, and it's a pain in the ass. But now it's done. It's fixed. I have
Um,
everything backed up. We're good to go.
wow.
So
and all this passed
So you
in
said
an
spending
hour.
experience points is 5, right?
5, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go down to 4, and you saw my message, right?
1 sec. I have not seen it.
I wish the next session
6 cents.
I
Got it.
have more high rolls.
1 moment there. I will get that in for you there, Kai.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
6 cents. All right, let me find that.
The third or fourth from the bottom.
Talents and 6 cents. So now you should have 6 cents in your talents. Yes, there it is.
Perfect.
All right, all good.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anybody else got any questions
Thank you.
before we close out for the night?
I have
Nope.
something, but I say you in the end because I have idea and I wanna know if I can do this.
Yeah, just send me a message then, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, don't worry.
Sure.
Don't worry. I'm gonna do this before end the session.
Yep.
But yeah,
No worries.
yeah.
All
I
right.
think for a next session, I have Jace like foolish, not foolish, full art of him.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah.
how you play Jace is completely up to you. So that sounds like it'll be interesting.
Yes.
All right.
He
Anybody else
have
got anything else?
nope. For
Nope.
the
Nope,
moment.
not at all.
Oh,
Nope. Good.
Excited for the next session episode.
Onomatopoeia? Is that what you're trying to say, Doc? I was just looking at the old
Onomatopoeia.
messages.
Onomatopoeia.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a
Yep.
hard word to say.
Yeah. I'm familiar with that word. It's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to
Well, you guys
spell
have a good
and
rest of
kind
your
of hard to
night.
pronounce.
All right, you too, guys. I'll see you
Yep.
all
Good
on
Yep.
night.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
good
See
night.
ya. Good night.